Oh, Katharine, it's the last day of Meet Your Recruiter. I'm Angela Cripsey, MD of the Recruiting Gym. This is Katharine Robinson, and today we've got Rebecca Shannon joining us, one of the coaches in the gym. Yeah, round of applause. So I've been away for a couple of days. I've been all over the country. Katharine, how's the week been for you? And then we'll find out all about today's.
I think we've both sort of ended up with quite busy weeks, and yeah, it's been quite challenging keeping on top of it all. So yeah, if I've missed commenting, liking, and things on posts, please forgive me. I will endeavour to catch up. So that's nice. It's a really lovely problem to have. I think my impression of this week has been there's been a nice flow to the posts, a nice what's felt like a connectivity. You know, we've done sort of themes in the past, but yeah, a few people have commented that it really feels like there's a cohesiveness about their post this week, that there's a lot of the prompts that, you know, maybe they could have shared something on, you know, a couple of the days. So almost like some transferability. It's felt more like telling a bit of a story or a bit of a journey this week, which, you know, that's nice. Hopefully we can sort of take some of that energy into future rounds.
And Rebecca, we know you've had a full-on week, but if we're diving into gratitude, we thought straight away, because we do plan these things, and who would be good. And when we say gratitude, we said, well, Rebecca would be great for that one. And luckily, you were able to join us. So why did you say yes to gratitude?
Yeah, I mean, listen, firstly, I love these Meet Your Recruiter weeks. They're great. They're a great way to create content and use the prompts. I think I've managed to use all of the prompts in all of the posts every day, which was quite fun to play with that, right? So which was great. And like you say, Katharine, it's a way of telling stories for people, which I think is so important. You know, that's how sharing our lived experiences through stories is a great way of creating connections and relationships with people. So yes, thank you as always for creating this. It's always great fun, even in a really busy week that we've all had this week. So yes to gratitude, because it is one of my core values. It's one of the core things I talk about in my work with people. And also I think, you know, what I wanted to kind of talk about today and share with people is gratitude can become one of those kind of cliches. You know, it's one of those things that people sort of very, you know, easily talk about, like, oh, you know, I do a gratitude journal, and oh yeah, I'm always grateful for things, and that's all great. There's nothing wrong with any of that, but I think we sometimes miss the power of gratitude. So the reason I said yes was it's always a subject that I love to talk about, and I love being here with you girls, and I'm very grateful for talking about this, you know, for the connection that we have, the Recruiting Gym and the collection of coaches that come together and really support each other when we're doing things like Meet Your Recruiter, or when, you know, Angela's doing one of her Ask the Coach sessions, or Katharine's launching a new program. You know, I'm really grateful. I have a lot of gratitude for the support that I've created and that Angela's given us the opportunity to create with a team, which when we're solopreneurs or working on our own, it can feel a little lonely, and we can feel like we're putting stuff out in the world and we don't have a lot of support for it. So, you know, all of those things. And can you see how in everything that I'm sharing there, this theme, this thread of gratitude flowing through it? So I think we can sometimes miss how powerful it can be. So it's always a good opportunity to slow down into the practice of gratitude.
Yeah, I must admit, the practice of gratitude, to make it a conscious thing. I think Renu was talking on Tuesday that this is something that she started doing, isn't it? Journaling every day and writing down. She said it's had such an impact on her. I was at a woman in leadership, a recruitment leadership event yesterday, and we ended up talking about, just sharing those comments with people, writing LinkedIn recommendations for people. If you've had a good experience, then you want to pass it forward. And there was a couple of elements where we could trace it, 2 or 3 around the room, where it got passed forward, where someone had done something for someone and then that had got passed on and passed on. I think we had like a link of 3 or 4 at one point. It was like we didn't realize the links were there. And you soon start realizing, actually, what a wonderful world it would be if we all had gratitude for everything that we were doing.
Yeah, and also I believe, and this is again core to a lot of what I talk about, is it begins with ourselves. You know, the other place that we often miss being grateful or showing gratitude is to ourselves. You know, being grateful for putting ourselves in great rooms with great women that you were with yesterday, Angela, for, you know, being grateful that when you and I met and, you know, you sent me a LinkedIn request saying, let's get on a call and talk, that I did, you know, I showed up for myself and said, yeah. And little did we know that 3 or 4 months later, we'd be in the, you know, the depths of lockdown, and would create a friendship and a connection and a collaboration that would lead us, you know, 4 years later to be here today, and everything that's been created in that time. So I also ask people to practice gratitude for themselves. And I've been doing workshops recently around acknowledgements for ourselves, which is a way of expressing gratitude for ourselves. And I'm going to share a little story from this week. And I was just sharing this with you guys before we came on camera of how also in every day, it can very quickly switch us into a different mindset. And we know that, you know, we create our world from the mindset we're in. So I had an incident at the weekend. My cats had a quite a severe accident and had to have surgery this week. Now, for the first couple of days, I wasn't in gratitude. I wasn't practicing gratitude. I was totally in victim mode. Oh my God, this is awful. It's terrible. What have I done? You know, all of those things, right? And actually, guess what? What was already a bad situation became a lot worse because of my thinking. Roll forward a couple of days when I've had a chance to practice some self-care and some self-love, is I then came back to gratitude. And even in that situation, I found so much to be grateful for. So I was grateful that I found the cat just after it happened. So she wasn't, you know, somewhere where she wasn't being cared for, looked after. It could have happened when she was outside. I might not have found her. So immediately I was grateful that it happened in our home, and I was there so I could help her. I was grateful that I caught the vets just before they shut on Saturday afternoon, and they saw her even though they were about to shut and didn't send us off to some emergency vet, which probably wouldn't have been able to do anything anyway, right? Grateful for that. I was grateful for insurance because it's a very expensive operation. And then I had great gratitude for myself because I'd taken that insurance out, right? And I've been paying into it. And then here's like a real twist in the tail, cat's tail, is that when I actually then looked at my insurance, and this is when I'm then like super grateful for the signs and synchronicities and miracles in the world, for some reason, somewhere along the line, I have 2 cats. Somehow one of the insurances has lapsed, and it wasn't on the cat that's just had her injury. So, you know, and all of those things, and I'm using, you know, we can all think of examples of this. Suddenly something that was an awful situation, I'd been able to find magic, miracles, gratitude, signs and synchronicities that had me view the whole situation differently. And in that, guess what happened? My mindset shifted, how I was being shifted. And suddenly what was a bad situation, I wasn't making it even worse.
Yeah.
So I just invite people to really like lean into this idea of where can I find gratitude? Where can I find things to be grateful for, even when everything looks pretty awful? You know, and we've had news this week to remind us of how grateful just being here is. You know, even if you wake up every day and be grateful that you've got your health. I think someone said it in the comments there, you've got your good health, you've got people that you care about, people that you love that you love. It's just being grateful for that. So yeah, just a little story, and I'm sure people can find their own versions of that. But what really struck me was how different I was in relation to what was a bad situation once I'd shifted into seeing what I could be grateful for.
I grew up with always look for the silver lining. So whenever there's something disastrous, and I had a conversation this week with a lady who'd had breast cancer, so I'm hoping she's going to join us. We'll come back to that. But there was a silver lining even in that, and we started laughing because it was just like, yeah, actually that was a really good thing that came out of it. And you're like, okay, out of a bad situation, who knows? A couple of comments in here I do want to highlight. So Faye, thank you. We're grateful for you this week as well. I hear the conversation yesterday could have gone a lot longer apparently. So I've got to catch up on that. What did I do? I did 8 hours of driving yesterday as well as a women in leadership event. So long day, but I was very grateful for it. But living in a state of gratitude literally is life-changing. Simon, lovely to see you here. It's gratitude is wonderful for mental health and happiness. Yeah, more gratitude. Again, that positive mindset shift, moving from everything's awful to finding that one little nugget, and then seeing that and seeing the impact that has on you. And again, hopefully that then promotes another and another. And it's that getting out of a difficult situation. And I don't know, did you mention it yesterday, Katharine? Because we all woke up to the news, or rather I was just going to sleep and then didn't sleep all night, with regards to Liam Payne.
We didn't mention it yesterday, no, but
well, we saw, didn't we, all the outpouring and getting it into that spiral, where he'd obviously been back on the drink, and you saw videos where he'd been 6 months sober and he was so happy about it, and he knew, and that was his lowest time when he was when he'd lost his sobriety over the last 10 years or so. He knew that was his lowest points. So to be in that situation again, and we don't know the circumstances, it could have been an accident, but again, what was he doing on the balcony? But the fact that the hotel had already called the police and the ambulance, fearing that he had a balcony, and obviously that he was potentially in that situation, they knew what was coming, and had already called them, which well, it links to my post today, so we'll start with that because it is tough, but we need to talk about it. And then and that my post has got so much on it because I'm grateful for so much of that, and it was just this week that I was picking on, so let's just grab that and share. So obviously starting off with this morning, and thank you, Katharine, for the Meet Your Recruiter Week. Always grateful for that. Love Meet Your Recruiter Week. Let's make that as big as we possibly can. And then Rebecca, obviously being here today, you've got your event on there, and we've got an event, Substance Suicide 500, that we're just putting up this week. So that's a follow-on to Kim Grocott's 365, where we celebrated her year of sobriety, and now it's 500 days on December the 2nd. So Rebecca, you're going to be on that one as well, actually, aren't you? So it's a Rebecca day, definitely. So if substance or suicide has impacted you, then grab the link on there as well. I'll put this in the chat so that people can come and join us for there. And tell us all about Wear It Pink with you today then.
Yeah, thank you. And yes, please join that conversation about substance and alcohol abuse and addiction, because it impacts so many of us and so many people around us, and addiction can also be to things like work as well, and so it applies to all of us really. So come along and be part of that conversation and hear some really uplifting stories and some heartbreaking stories as well. But we do need to be talking about it. It's really, really important. So please come and join that. But yeah, Wear It Pink. Obviously, when Wear It Pink comes up, it's kind of like a normal day for me. But I have supported this charity, so breast cancer awareness charity, that do a Wear It Pink every day, every October. So I, jump on the bandwagon in the very best way to raise awareness and money and for this cause. And I think we're almost at 50% in the donations now. We've had some donations come in this morning, so I've put in the comments there the link to donate, and actually in there you've got a link to register for an event that I'm holding today. So basically it's going to be an open Zoom room between 10 and 3 today. You don't have to come for the whole day. You can just pop in and say hello. We've got Angela's going to be coming and talking about the impact that breast cancer has had on her family, because that's what we're doing today, as well as we're sharing stories. Because, I really do believe that stories are the way that we can share lived experience and learn from each other and be inspired, held, supported, and have the opportunity to talk. So really what I've done is just open up a Zoom room. People will be popping in and out. I've got a couple of people possibly coming to the house here as well to join me live on here. It may be a full Zoom room. We may have 1 or 2 people. For me, it doesn't matter. If it helps one person, if one person shows up, if one person gets inspired, if one person, by the donations that you make, has a different experience with cancer when it hits them, if it hits them, then for me, I've done something that has me feel gratitude for the fact that this isn't something that's impacted me personally. It has impacted friends and family of mine. So I can be in gratitude for that, and I can give back by doing what I do, which is creating spaces where people can come and share, have conversations. We'll probably have a book reading or 2, knowing me. We'll definitely be wearing it pink. I've put on a very pink dress today, which I haven't worn for ages. I do have quite a lot in my wardrobe, so I had a lot to choose from. But come along, and if you can't come along, please support. It's just going to be fun, and it's going to be very pink. And Angela, thank you. You're wearing pink. I know Katharine has pink socks on. I won't make her show you those, although I did say I would, but I'll be kind. And pink highlighter pens on hand as well. So whatever you can do today, we'd love you to get involved. Go and find the link on LinkedIn. Even if you're not going to show up, if you could put something pink on, take a photo, post that on LinkedIn with just the hashtag wear it pink. These are all ways that we can get involved and support, raise awareness, start conversations. It doesn't have to be money and it doesn't have to be time, but if we could flood LinkedIn with a load of lovely pink pictures today, wouldn't that just make Friday a day to be grateful for? So that's my plug for today.
Yes, and you've got some giveaways in there as well, so there's another reason why to pick up something. Just point those out.
So anyone who donates, we're going to do a draw. I won't do it today. I'm going to do it because we'll leave the link open for a couple of weeks afterwards, because people often come in afterwards, and then we'll do a draw, and anyone who's donated can win £500 vouchers towards any of my group or individual coaching programs. And we have a fantastic new program in January called The Power of Systems, which I did a workshop on last night, a masterclass on last night, which is super powerful. So you can get a place on that program starting in January. So really good incentives to donate, as well as contributing towards the awareness and research into breast cancer and its prevention and cure.
Fabulous. So back to Meet Your Recruiter then. Renu, we can see you there as well. Thank you for yours on Tuesday. You were a guest on Tuesday, weren't you? We've already mentioned you, I think, just before you came in. I said about Renuka, and then she appeared in the group. So thank you for that. And all these posts, I must admit, I've been sort of catching up again in the evenings, and I probably still haven't got through all of them. So please do tag us or send us a message with your brain suddenly gone dead post. That's the word.
Link to your post. Feel free to pop in a DM, help us find it.
Exactly. So Meet Your Recruiter will be back in January. Thank you to Katharine and Cup and Saucer for supporting and sponsoring this week. Again, the ladies in the room yesterday, I mentioned it, and they went, "Oh, what a great idea!" We need to get the word out. We know we had 520 odd people following the hashtag, so that we've got a good chunky number now that are doing it. But of course, we know there's thousands of recruiters out there that could benefit for this. So please do share that hashtag as well if you are able to. Rebecca, you got a full-on day. We probably should let you get off and get organised. Go check on the cat.
Yeah, go check on the cat. Lovely. Thank you so much for letting me be here today. I mean, immensely grateful for the recruiting gym and the amazing team that we have, and all the people that join us on these lives as well and support us. So lots to be grateful for. It's going to be a great day. The sun is shining. The moon was full. It's all good in the world. Let's make it a pink, happy day today.
Yeah, well, that sounds good. I'm enjoying the like of that. And Katharine, you get to rest a little bit next week. I'd forgotten how full on it is every morning at 9 o'clock.
I'd forgotten as well. It's sort of nicely familiar in a strange way. Nice to do it every now and again, but not so much every single week.
Daily workout is not making a comeback after 1,000 mornings. 9 o'clock. We're not doing that. But hopefully, fingers crossed, My Life in Recruitment will be coming back, but I won't be interviewing people at 9 o'clock on there. We'll make that a more reasonable hour. Brilliant. Thank you, ladies. So grateful for you all, and all of the recruiting gym coaches. I was singing your praises yesterday. We had a bit of audience participation, everyone shouting out who they knew on the coaches page. So Rebecca, you were one of the first ones that they picked out there. And we've got our team meeting on Monday evening as well, so we'll get together then, so that'll be lovely. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Join Rebecca's event today. Join our Ask the Coach. It's an onboarding special today as well. And then we've got Meet the Expert next week, which is Cecilia Crossley on onboarding. So we're going full on that at the moment, because we know the market is moving. You're going to be bringing more people in again, and so are all your clients. So let's get that right before we need it. Wonderful. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.